Today's show is sponsored by the law offices of Armand Gregorian. If you're injured in a car accident and need proper guidance and representation, reach out to the law offices of Armand Gregorian, 1-818-404-0333. Are insurance companies giving you the runaround? Don't settle for less. Public Assist fights for you, not the insurance companies. To get the maximum payout on your claim, whether it's for fire, water, or property damage, call Public Assist today and tell them the Wisenuts sent you. Get what's rightfully yours. 818-242-0998. 818-242-0998, because you deserve every single dollar. Also, today's show is brought to you by the Glen Arden Club. If you're interested in networking, cigars, scotch, and a great environment, reach out to us. We'll connect you to the boys at the Glen Arden, and you'll become a member here. Smoke with the Wisenuts. Smoke with a great network. Happy Monday, everybody.
TGIM.
5 o'clock somewhere. We want to thank every single one of you guys who tuned in today for a live broadcast. We have Yesenia Berbiar here with us, medium.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We want to thank you for actually joining us, and we want to thank our studio audience as well for, doing something not everybody would do. And we kind of figured that out today, that people do get cold feet, and it's okay. But we want to thank you guys as well for joining us live.
I get cold feet every Monday.
Thank you.
I get cold feet every time you call me or when I see your text messages.
That's not cold feet. That's something else.
We're not going to mention anything. But it's going to be a very interesting show. But before we get started, we want to kind of dive into you, find out a little bit about yourself. Can you tell us a little bit about what a medium is and how you found out that you, I guess, are one?
Yeah, how you have such powers or abilities?
It's not powers. I wouldn't call it powers. I would say it's a gift. It all started when I was 7. My dad took his life. I was right outside of the house, myself, my sister, 2 other sisters. We loved our dad very much. He was an alcoholic, and of course, things happen, And so he took his life, and at that point, right after the funeral, my aunt, who was like my second mom, took me to Mexico, and she stuck me in this adobe house for 2 months. And in that time period, my dad started appearing, and I started seeing him, and I started having conversations with him, and he told me why he did what he did. He told me he was in a good place, and he told me that he would talk to me often. And I didn't know how exactly I was going to explain this to my family. But after 2 months, I come home and I start trying to tell my family, hey, I've been talking to Dad. And of course, they all think I'm crazy. You were in an adobe house for 2 months. You were in Mexico. You probably don't know what you're talking about. But my dad told me and showed me exactly where his body laid. He showed me exactly what happened and why it happened. And from there, we promised we would continue having conversations. This runs in my family. I think the sixth sense runs in everybody. We're all born with this sixth sense. We all kind of know when something's going to happen, right? But for some reason, I was chosen to help others. And I feel that's because when I was a child, no one explained death to me. Even though I was there for so many people who crossed over, no one really took the time to sit down and say, well, this is death, and this is what happens to people when they cross over. Who do they meet? Who do they talk to when they get to heaven? Who's the first one that's there to greet them, right? And I believe that anyone that has lost someone has that question, right? Who's there? Who was at the bedside when my mom crossed over, my dad crossed over, right? So with time, when a father dies, predators, people feel like they can handle the daughters or the girls at any time. And so, unfortunately, I was raped by an uncle, and, just seemed like that was the okay thing to do back then. And so when I was 12, I decided that I would take a lot of pills and I would go meet my dad and just be with him, because I felt that, that was a safe place, and it seemed like it was a very beautiful place. Why wouldn't I want to be there? So I crossed the tunnel. I see my dad no further than where you girls are sitting, and I'm so happy. And as I get closer to my dad, Jesus appeared. on the right side of my father, and actually held my father back, and because he was ready to hold me and grab me, and Jesus held my father back, and I looked at him and I said, why can't I be here? Like, why can't I be with my dad? And Jesus told me, because I'm Catholic, Jesus told me, it's not your time. You have bigger things to do in this life, and I will guide you and I will tell you what those are. And I asked him, if I don't belong here and I don't belong there, where do I belong, or do I just not belong? And he says, don't worry, don't be afraid. I will guide you and you'll know with time. So I defy God, what I consider defying him, because I threw myself at my dad, really thinking that he was going to be able to just grab me and take me with him. And I woke up and I got the worst beating in my life. And so from that point on, it was a huge struggle to even want to stay around. So I ran away at the age of 14, became an emancipated adult, received the first black eye when I was 15. I decided to get pregnant because that was the only way I was going to be able to become an adult and live my life. So I have a beautiful 38-year-old daughter who I adore, and I have a 32-year-old son who I adore as well. We have 2 kids. But for 14 years, I was in a very abusive relationship. And in
Abusive
fact,
with the father of your kids? Or?
yes. Yeah. Didn't want to go into details with that because, obviously it's very private. But at one moment, he was strangling me, wanting me to die. And my husband, now of 25 years or 24 years, was the deputy that came into my home and saved me. And so from there on, everything's kind of been developing and evolving in a sense, because my brother passed away. And I was pouring his ashes over the boat, and I kept saying, "Shit, Philip, I can't believe you fit in this thing." My brother was 6'4", weighed almost 400 pounds. He was a big guy, and the vase was like this small. I'm like, how can you even fit in that? But one day when Michael came over to visit, he was pacing up and down. He says, "I don't know how to tell you this, but your brother, I think he says he did fit in that thing." And then it was like a light bulb. All these questions started happening. I was like, how do you know that? What do you do? Because I see things, I dream things, I hear things, and everything that I know that's coming, it happens. And I have no one to share with because no one really believes. It was really hard. And so when we got married, he started testing me. And so that's where everything begins. And it's been 24 years. For 20 years of those 24 years, I was secretly doing readings in my home.
So very quickly, your father took his life when you were 7, you said,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
And your brother was obviously older. Till today, it's been several years now. Do you still see and speak to your father at all?
All the time. All the time. My
And-
dad comes through. I know when he's around because he loves, he used to smoke Marlboros, cigarettes. Yes. And every time there's a cigarette smell in my car or in the house and we don't smoke, I know my dad's there. Anytime I have a question for him or anytime I'm questioning, there's signs all around us. And I think once we start the reading, you'll notice that you get the signs as well. And whether you acknowledge them or not, is completely up to the person.
See, we had a medium on about 3 years ago.
Clairvoyant.
Or clairvoyant,
Yeah.
correct. And when speaking to him, he would see certain people as well, or spirits, or whatever it is that you want to call it. And when we asked him, we said, what is it that you see? Do you actually see the person's face? Do you see a silhouette of them? A lot of the times he would say it was more of like a shadow or a gray sort of image. There wasn't an actual face, but they would tell him that this is who I am and this is what I look. What is it that you see? Because that's kind of the clarification that we want to get. Because you see all these sci-fi movies and these shows and these ghost hunters and all that, where you hear things and you see things on TV, but what is it that you see?
Well, it's all up to the spirit and what they want me to see. If they want me to see a clear picture or an image of them, then that's exactly what they're going to show me. So they may say, you see the person in front of you, the beautiful eyes that she has, those are my grandmother's eyes, per se, right? They'll show me the actual picture of them, what they look like. Most of the time, when our loved ones cross over, say they cross over and they were 80, I'm going to see them as if they were in their 20s or 30s, because they become younger, they become lively, they become happy. And there's no more pain. So it just depends on what they want me to see. Sometimes it could be a movie that I'm watching and then they slow it down in one particular spot and they highlight things for me, right? Or they'll show me or hear me, or I'll hear it as well. So it just depends. I think the most intense thing for me is when the person, how they cross over. If it's a heart attack, I'll get pain in my heart or I'll get pain in my chest. And they'll just tell me this is how I crossed over, but I'm no longer in pain. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. It does.
And so earlier you mentioned how when they cross over, they get to reunite with family members.
Yes.
But how far back in your ancestry tree do they usually reunite with? Is it just the level where you actually knew in life, or is it your all the way to your fifth, great grandfather, or how? I mean, how
So
far back do they reunite?
they'll reunite as far back as they want to reunite. Here's the thing: we have master cells of ourselves, a master's higher self per se, right? We're all here in school. This is school for us. So we sign up to be with maybe the same family. I love being in the same family. I want to come back as the grandchild next time, right? Or maybe I want to come back as an uncle or an aunt or whatever the case may be. The lineage can go back thousands and thousands of years. And so if you love coming back into that family, great. You'll notice that when there's, say, for instance, if there's 7 of us in my family and one's a misfit, which is probably me, no, but when there's one that's a misfit, that spirit could have come back saying, I want a challenge. I think I need to go into a different family, maybe same family tree, but just a different
A
family.
richer uncle.
Yeah. Like that. Right.
When we first put this out there, as far as you joining us, having obviously a studio audience, a lot of individuals reached out to us and they said that be cautious of what you guys are doing. This is not very Christian-like. It's not very Catholic-like. It's against the Bible. So what do you say to something like that, where you have individuals talking about it being mentioned in the Bible, not to interact with the medium, for example?
Well, here's the thing. God has given us all gifts. We all have a gift, whether it's singing, whether it's dancing, whether it's talking to people. We're all born with a gift, right? And I feel that as long as I'm doing good and as long as I'm doing what God continues to ask me to do, there cannot be wrong. So to say, I don't really, it's like politics. I don't go into religion and politics. I'm very Catholic. We are in Lent right now. I did give up chocolate. I'm a regular person. I'm a normal person like anyone else. The only difference is that God asked me to help and heal the people, healing hearts, right? Heal your heart here, reunite you with the soul, your loved one that's crossed over, so that you know in your heart that your loved one is okay.
And what about those individuals where they talk about waiting for revelation, where you pass and you wait for the return of God, basically, and that's when your soul actually awakens?
But we are God. God is in each and every one of us. Why would you wait so long? Right? Why would we wait? There's so many different religions out there. There's so many beings. There's one creator. However you look at it, why waste that time? Why not communicate with your God now? Why not? Why should there be a separation? Is what I say.
Now, and is it like the spirits or the loved ones that you have, are they ghosts that you see, or are they Are they angels? What is it that who are they? Are they like walking amongst us, or are they coming down from heaven? What is it exactly?
So you're asking me what I see.
Yes.
So say, for instance, my guides, we're all born with guides. All of us guides, like your angel guides.
Okay.
Yeah. You know that gut feeling that you have inside that sometimes tells you, don't go down that path or don't take that street today. Maybe don't leave right now. Wait a little bit, right? That's your guide. That's God talking to you. That's also your guide. We're all born with a guide that tells us right from wrong. Right?
You also have we saw it in like cartoons when we were growing up, right? You have the devil on one shoulder, the angel on the other.
Of course, that's free will. That's free will because we all have free will. So depending on what life lessons we need to learn here, God has given us free will to choose. You either go down God's path, right? Or you go and you venture out. At the end of the day, you're still going to end up where you were meant to be. Make sense? Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense? Sorry.
No, it makes sense.
So then if there's, for example, if the same spirit comes back in a different physical state, whether they come back as for example, you said different family member or maybe an animal, right? What happens at that point? Are you still able to communicate connect with them?
Absolutely. I was talking about our higher self. And so our higher self, there's little bits of us that come back down. So say, for instance, my father passed away 40 some years ago, right? My nephew had a son who was born on my father's birthday. When we held him, we immediately knew and felt my father's energy and love in this brand new baby. And it was amazing to us. And then we thought, well, so are the visits going to be less? But they're not. Your higher self will always be in heaven. So pieces of you can come back down and explore, learn a little more. Maybe you need another round of whatever you failed in this lifetime, right? And then you go back and you reconnect. So I will always be able to connect with your higher being. Does that make sense?
Are you able to tell if, like, let's say this is my 5th time here or my 20th time or my 1st time?
This is your 4th time here.
My 4th time?
Yes.
Wow.
This is your 4th time. And you're quite stubborn is what I'm hearing.
Was
I heard 3rd time wasn't a charm.
Was I as talented the first 3 times?
Well, you've always been a person of voice. And you've always tried to bring peace or at least find the truth in people. And you do defend people quite a bit. So you're like the defender. So if I would have to say, if I saw you in a past life, I would say maybe early 1600s. And that's probably a time period where you're comfortable with, like a warrior type. Very rugged, very long beard.
You hear that, Joe? Don't mess with the warrior.
You know what's funny when you went 1600s. Remember, you were mentioning something about you possibly getting a tattoo of like a shield or something Viking related.
Yeah.
When were the Vikings around, guys? I'm just saying.
80s.
Right.
Now I'm curious about myself. You said it was his 4th time.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you feeling here?
6th time for you.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Was he a real estate agent the first 5 times?
No, but there's something about either stone that you like and like rich woods and stone. So this for me just shows that you love to work with earth or nature. You like to be in nature. You like to spend a lot of time outside. Is it 3 children? Do you have 3 children or what's with the 3?
I have 2.
You have 2. Did we lose one or are we planning on having another one?
I would love to have another one. It's actually a conversation that my wife and I have had before we've had currently and in the past where we're like, you know what, the 3rd one would be great. It would kind of be like the final triangle.
Absolutely. The 3rd one is on its way. And I want to say it's going to be a little girl.
Interesting.
Wow.
So do you have the boy now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So you have a boy and a girl, or you have so that you have another little girl coming.
Interesting.
Obviously, she has free will. She wants to come in as a boy in the last minute, then that is her will to come in as a boy later on.
Interesting.
Okay.
So
this
it's not
is
up to the
not.
elementary teacher.
No, I'm
Or the
sorry.
state.
It's a, you know how,
It's a joke.
yeah, kids go to school and teachers are, well, you know, you could be,
Oh yes.
Yeah.
No. That's
not one
not
of
it.
those.
No, because
hey, we got to clarify.
I know, but we could come back, like you said, we could come back as my favorite animal.
Yeah.
We can come back as, you're a grandfather or an aunt or whatever the case may be. It depends on what you want to sign up for. So think of it this way. When we come into this world, we sign a contract, no different than when we have our parents go and sign us up for school, whether it's elementary, junior high, high school, right? There's certain subjects that you have to take, which is death, falling in love, maybe going broke, whatever the case is. There's like 4 ones that you can't go away from. But then you start saying, well, in this past life, maybe I wasn't a good listener. So now I'm going to become a therapist. So you sign up for therapy, right? Or in a past life, you were the aggressor. I'll give you an example. I was born in 1920. For me, my past life is so vivid. It was like if it was just yesterday. So being in your lounge was just like, oh my God, this feels right at home, right? 1920s, I was married. My husband at the time, it was probably during the Prohibition because I didn't know that there was alcohol under the whatever. This is a long story. Anyways, I was very skinny, had a lot of money, and I had help. All I know is my son died. My husband was killed, and I'm off on my own. I end up killing myself at the age of 26. Okay. So in this life, when I would look at myself in the mirror, even up until just a few years ago, how many times haven't you walked by a mirror and you're like, oh shit, that's me? That would happen to me because I'm like, I'm not that chubby. Like in my real life, I'm really skinny and I'm tall and, But going back and really paying attention to what my last life was like, then I know in this life, I signed up for something completely different. Being humble, not having money, wanting to really connect with people from my category or my class, right? Being able to lend a lending hand to someone when they're in need. When I do this is not to make a profit. This is not for me to get rich. It's really for me to help others navigate through life so that when you go back up there, you're like, oh yeah, I remember she said that. Okay, maybe I'm not going to sign up for 10,000 illnesses. Maybe I just sign up for one, right? Maybe I want to go back and help people instead of take advantage of people.
See, I got a question for you though.
Yes.
Going up and then deciding to come back down, how come we have no recollection of our past life?
You're not supposed to.
So then how do we make that decision as to this is the type of individual I want to be when I come back?
You make those decisions up there. But I can guarantee that each one of you in this room has had a flashback of your life. We call it deja vu, where you feel like I've been here before. Like I should have been a singer, or I was a model, or I was in television, whatever the case is. And you're like, why is this so easy for me? Well, it's easy for you because this was already part of your past life. So those things come easy. The challenging, the new things you sign up for come with more of a challenge.
Interesting.
Yeah.
As far as the individual sitting in the room, and we have obviously people on camera, off camera,
Yes.
Is there anything that you're sensing right now at all? Maybe.
So, quick disclaimer that I want to give everybody. I think this is important for everybody to know. Your loved ones, whoever you've invited, whoever wants to be here, are the ones that are going to be here, that are going to show up. Does that make sense? I don't deal with any negative energy, meaning if someone raped you, beat you, whatever, and they did not repent or they're not in a good place, they are not welcomed in our space. I wanted to make that clear because I do not deal with any negative energy. Also, when you guys leave, your loved ones leave with you. If you're friends, it doesn't mean that the spirits that belong to somebody else are not going to go home with you. They're actually just all going to go back to heaven, right? They're going to we made our appearance, we said what we wanted to say, and then we just go back up to heaven. Your loved ones may be talking about you, your significant other's family, right? We have friends. So the message may be for you, it may be for your friend, it may be for your child. And the message could be and be related to something that's happening now or something that happened before. Or it may even be something that's going to happen later on. So in a lot of the cases, when the messages come through, they can sometimes tell me this is future, or hey, this may happen later. So all of my clients, I have them record their reading because I forget your reading when you walk out of my house. Does that make sense? I'll forget the reading when I leave this place today. And so I've had clients that come back a week later and call me and think, oh my God, I didn't understand what you said that day. But 3 days later, I understand completely what it meant, right? So even if it doesn't make sense to you right now, you could be getting in your car and you'll be like, oh, I know exactly what she was talking about. And then you just didn't capture it on camera, which is perfectly fine for me. Okay. Does that make sense?
It does make
Does that make sense for everybody? Okay. Just want to make sure you know. Also, we have people that are not in front of me, but are on the side of me. So messages may come to them as well. The one thing I noticed earlier, and I think it was it you? I was talking about the little boy, because that little boy's still running around this room. And I want to say he's around 7 or 8 years old. So I'm not sure who here is connected to a boy that was either hit by a car and died at around the age of 7 or 8. And they're constantly singing in my head. So, okay.
Any of you?
Okay. I'm also being told, probably connected to this child, someone drives a motorcycle. So there's a motorcycle connection. And they love to sing. There's either a singer in the family, or they're in a choir, or they sing.
Any of you?
Your mom passed away, didn't she? She's right behind you. She's singing, actually. Yeah. She says, thank you for taking care of her. But she also says, I'm sorry about the distance. Was there distance? Did she live in another place, or you wish you were closer to her? Whether it's logistically or relationship-wise?
Maral, you want to come sit here?
No. No, it's just I haven't been able to visit lately.
You haven't been able.
So that is time.
Oh, okay. She tells you. Yeah, she's telling you not to feel guilty about that. I feel like you have her pictures all over your house, and you come and you wipe them, and then you talk to her, and she says, that's enough. Don't feel guilty. I'm not at the cemetery. I'm here with you in your house. And do you have white? She's talking about white walls, or talking about how clean the house is. And I love the neutral colors, but then you have pops of colors that she likes. Does that make sense?
We just remodeled, and that's my theme. I have a hallway that I just did all white with colorful crosses.
Mm-hmm. She absolutely loves it. And she's shy. So she says it. You look just like I feel like you have her smile. And she says that she is so happy and that she could breathe again. Like she's making me breathe. She's saying I could breathe again. So I don't know what the pressure was on her chest, whether it was lungs or heart, but she's saying I could breathe now. And she loves when you cook. She absolutely loves the smell in the house. Okay. What's with having 4 children or 5 children?
I have 3.
You have 3. Okay. Is there 2 that were supposed to be here? In other words, did we lose a child and you don't have to talk about it if you don't want? Because I like to respect people's privacy. But I feel like she either has 1 or 2 of your children with her, And there's also a dog that just came and sat next to you. So I'm not sure if you also lost a dog. Okay.
Lost 5.
5 dogs.
Babies.
5. Oh, that's the 4 or 5 babies.
2 dogs.
And 2 dogs. Oh, well, she has them all. They're going to come back as your grandchildren. Okay. Who's the dancer or who dances? Like, did you dance growing up or?
Still dance.
Oh, you're still
Not
dance.
professionally, but I've
But
always
you
been the
dance.
dancer.
Yep. Your mom says that she could dance as well. Like she's dancing. I also feel like there's a father figure with her. So is this your dad that crossed over? Yep, they're together. They don't argue as much as they did when they were here.
Good to know.
Does someone in the family own a boat, or what's with the boat? Did we buy a boat? Did we come on a boat? What's with the boat? Does that make sense to anybody else? Did you go sailing? Did you go to Ventura? Something about being on a boat or seeing the boats?
I mean, I love the ocean. I'm always trying to, but I did an Alaska cruise just in honor of my mom.
Yep, she was there with you. Yeah. So she was on your Alaskan cruise in memory of
I
her.
did something special for her and I left it there on a boat.
On the boat. Yeah, absolutely. She says, thank you for celebrating me. She says, it meant a lot. And it meant a lot. She also hands you a red rose and a pink rose. And so you must have a beautiful garden. Something about having a deep garden or a deep backyard. And there's a lot of trees, and she loves to sit in the back, is what she tells me. And where's the different sliders? Like, do we have 2 sliding doors? Oh, yeah, she loves that. And she loves when you feed the birds, but you sometimes forget to feed them. But it's okay because she says I still hang out with them, or she still comes in. She did tell me she sends you a lot of butterflies, and in fact, she had me wear my butterfly socks because she says it was very important that you knew that she loved to, just like a butterfly, come and then visit the rest of your family as well.
There's one always in front of our front door.
Yeah.
Always.
Yep, absolutely. Is there a certain incense that you burn?
Incense?
Yeah, like frankincense, or
Sometimes frankincense, but
Yeah.
I burn sage.
you burn sage.
Mostly.
Okay. She likes it. Sometimes you overdo it. Okay. But she doesn't bother her. It's not like you're throwing her away, or like pushing her out or anything like that. She just says, I like when you burn it. I would also maybe start burning some frankincense as well.
Okay.
Okay. Who has the P name? I'm not sure if it's a Patricia, a Patrick, a P. Who has the P name?
From my mom's dad.
Mom's.
With the P.
It starts with the P. Okay. He's also blessing you, and he's also acknowledging. He's saying he's here as well.
Oh, he passed away a long time ago.
Is there a birthday in March, or is there a birthday in August? Okay. So they're acknowledging the birthdays. You're a great daughter. Thank you for taking care of me. Your mother-in-law passed as well? Mother-in-law is still here?
Yeah.
Who has the diabetes, or who has the problem with the legs? Your dad.
Passed away.
Okay. His legs are okay. Okay. Like I can walk again. I could dance again. He doesn't like to dance so much. Your mom likes to dance. You carry something of hers? Did you bring something of hers?
With me now, I'm not sure. I usually do, but I don't know if I have it.
Okay. She's just acknowledging, I know you carry something of mine, is what she tells
Yeah,
me.
I always wear a ring.
Okay. And who has the white car, or who just recently bought a white car? I think it may be out here. Did someone just either has a white car or just bought a white car?
I have a white car, but I didn't buy one. I've had it for a long time.
But you need to buy one. Okay. Give me 1 second, because I think her family is bringing in your family. What's with the wedding date? Are you planning on getting married? Something about a wedding or getting married or like what I can't.
She has a white card too.
Yeah, okay, because I oh, I keep hearing be open to marriage. You guys all know each other? Okay, you two know each other. Give me 1 second. It's funny because your mom is talking to them, or your mom is talking to their family members, like convincing them that it's okay to get engaged. It's okay to be committed. Okay. She also talks about a certain perfume or smell, and you know when she's around when you smell her. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. In December, do you guys have a big celebration besides Christmas? Is there a birthday, anniversary, something in December?
It was my parents' anniversary.
Anniversary. She still wants you to celebrate their anniversary.
We do.
Okay. And what's with the lemons or the color yellow?
I have 2 big lemon trees full of lemons.
Full of lemons. She loves them. She says, make something with it. Like pick them, give them away.
I give them away.
Okay.
I should drink them.
Remind me to give you the limoncello recipe and make
Oh,
limoncello.
okay. Sure.
And where's the play set, or was there a like a tree house or play set? Is it still up? Mhm. I'm not sure if the name is Mary, Marie. What's with the name?
My mom's name.
Oh.
Marietta.
Okay.
Marietta. My aunt is Mary, her sister.
And her sister. Okay. But I feel like sister's still here. Okay. Because she says she's kind of taken over the throne, or meaning like everyone looks up to her now. Does that make sense?
Treat her like mom.
Oh, yeah. Okay. She says she's so happy that you do that. I'm glad you decided on those pair of shoes because I think you didn't know what pair of shoes to wear today.
Me.
Yeah.
I'm in my work clothes. I came right after work. But yeah.
Because she was in the car with you like, you look fine, you're going to be fine, is what I keep hearing her say to you. Did someone in the family get a tattoo in honor of your mom or dad?
Yeah, I did.
You did? Oh, okay. Because she says, we have to talk about the tattoo. That's exactly how she said it. I was like, oh gosh, how do I say this? She's okay with it. I don't know if she would have been okay with it when she was alive, but she's definitely okay with it now. Okay. And she's laughing because she says, you waited until I passed away to get a tattoo. I feel like she's just so happy. She's such at peace. And she says that she loves to play with your hair. Loves to play with your hair. I also need to acknowledge the cat or cats. So who has the cat, or who owns something about owning a cat? Or they want me to say the name Catherine.
My cousin's wife, Catherine, also passed away.
Okay. Okay. She's here. Okay. I'm being told my hair grew back or something about my hair. So I'm not sure if she had cancer. But I also feel like she was here and then crossed over right away. It's almost like I didn't have a lot of time. Does that make sense? Does she have a short illness?
Catherine? Or
Yes. Catherine. Okay. Please tell my family not to cry for me. I'm okay. September. I'm not sure what's with September, but she shows me September. Do we have an altar? Do you know if there's an altar with everybody's picture? It's almost like, for me, she shows me like there's a picture of her. Maybe it's her family that has it. Would you know?
No, I don't. I mean.
Okay. She just tells me like, I love where my picture is at or where my ashes is at. It almost feels like a little altar. That's what it looks like. Or that's what she's showing me. And there's different frames with different pictures on there that she says, I like the way they look. And she left 2 behind or 3 behind. She talks about 2 or 3.
4, but 2 were little.
But 2 were little when, okay. Oh, someone loves purple. I'm not sure who loves purple. In fact, okay, let me see. Before any reading, I sometimes am told to write things down. And I mean, obviously, it's not that I was writing on the other side when you guys came in because nobody's been talking. But the things that very, very simple. I just want you to show you just very little simple notes that I have. I feel like someone's father passed away besides you. I feel like someone's father passed away. But the flowers that were coming through were purple, pink, and then they kept talking about roses. In this, I hear mom, I hear Cancer, May, 4 or 5, Oscar, the name Richard. And I don't think this is related to you, but I feel like there was either a murder-suicide or an overdose in the group somewhere. And then the father figure is coming through saying like, why? But it was talking to me in a different language. Fast cars. Someone owns a little truck, something about a little truck. And then the kid keeps coming up. They also talk about a divorce. Then I was told to say, you are my angel. There's a kitty, there's a dog, there's a frog, the birds. Someone looks at the zoo channel, or someone likes to visit the zoo. Does any of that make sense?
The zoo, sure, and animals. I take my little one all the time to the zoo, and I love animals.
Oh my
So does
gosh.
she.
Yeah.
But
Well, they all go with you to the zoo. Yeah. They also said, please don't bring the frog home. So there's something about having a frog.
I don't know.
Yeah. So do you hear, or did someone growing up, did someone have frogs? Frogs? No? Okay. Yes? Yes?
My younger brother had frogs.
Your younger brother had frogs. Okay. Where's the overdose connected to you or someone around you? I'm being told 18. So could have been at around the age of 18.
My brother died at 18, maybe?
Your brother died at 18. Okay. And was he under a lot of medication? Okay. Can you come sit here? I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I know you can't imagine when my brother passed away. There was so many things I wanted to say to him, and I didn't have that opportunity. And so I get really sensitive with brothers when they cross over. I mean, obviously with parents as well, but he adores you. And he loves to mess with you, by the way.
Am I right?
He either loves to mess with your hair, he loves to be in the back seat, and he says you're a good driver, but sometimes you drive too fast. Okay?
No.
You carry him in your heart. Obviously, but he just tells me like you could feel him when he's around because either your heart beats faster or, and he just says, I'm right here, and he tries to calm you. So he loves to touch your hands. He loves to touch your hands. Thank you for taking care of me. Like, thank you for being there and listening to me. And you were in denial of his crossing. And he just says, I'm right here with you. That it was okay. Why would he tell me he has a mother figure up there?
Probably my grandma.
Okay.
Grandma passed. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, because he says, I'm okay. I wasn't alone when I crossed over. What's with the giraffes?
His room, when he was younger, had giraffes and like
Oh, that is-
sailboats and like was very like kid-like in his room, like but when he was like really, really young.
Yeah. So imagine him back at around that age when he was the happiest. Mom hasn't been the same since. Was there something wrong with his blood? Why do I feel like there was something wrong with his blood, or I feel like there was something, because the blood in my veins feel really thick. He says a lot was going through my body. Does that make sense?
I mean, in a way, yeah, I guess.
Okay. And he had a lot of battles with himself. I feel like either he felt like he was somebody else or he was always battling something in his head. He says it's all better now. It's all gone. It's all gone. I feel like he was a newer soul and he wasn't meant to be here for a very long time. It's almost like he says, oh, heck no, I don't want this. And then kind of asked to be bailed out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, actually it does.
Okay. He says, at least you know I'm in a good place and that I'm happy and I get to mess with you. I love to mess with the lights. I love to either mess with the lights. Okay. That's letting you know that he's around. You're okay. I like your music. It's so-so.
Sounds about right.
Where is the guitar and where's the blue color, whether it's a wall or something
Blue
about.
was his favorite color.
Okay.
And he used to have this stupid like little ukulele and he used to play it all around the house. Like it was so annoying, but like it would drive me freaking crazy. And I used to like chase him all over the house because he would like torment me. He was my younger brother.
Yeah.
So like him doing this stupid little ukulele he got like from my parents that brought back from like Hawaii. They're like, he was like playing it constantly till he broke all the strings off. And like, thank God that happened. But like, till that point happened, it was driving me freaking crazy.
I think he wants to come back as your child. I think that's why he's telling you, hurry up, get your life together because I need to come back. So if you're not pregnant, I would be very careful or embrace it. But just know that he will come back as your child. Okay. And that you're going to give him the best life ever. Not that your mom didn't. However, that now he knows how to navigate life a little better and that you would be a better guide for him. Does that make sense? He does want his ukulele back too.
No. No.
He loves when you take walks on the beach.
I do that a lot by myself.
You do that a lot.
Yeah.
Did you get a tattoo for him? Or are you thinking about getting a tattoo for him?
I do. It's right here, his birthday.
Oh, okay. And he was buried, but why do I feel like he should have been cremated?
That's so crazy. My mom was gonna cremate him next to actually my dad, who got cremated. And then something happened, and we just ended up doing a burial.
Oh, okay.
And it just was weird because we were actually supposed to cremate him, but then we ended up not doing that.
Right.
And we kept him. Yeah.
That's okay. It's okay. Then this is your dad's way of showing me that one was cremated and one was buried. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And your son, your brother says, just like her mom, I'm not at the burial site. Like I'm actually amongst you guys. Okay. Why would your dad show me a big blow to the chest?
Because my brother was killed on a motorcycle.
Oh, the motorcycle.
And at a stoplight. Someone wasn't paying attention on their phone and they hit him.
And so the blow, okay. I kind of saw it but didn't feel it. I hope that makes, I don't know if it makes it any better, but he just says I just didn't feel it. I felt like someone, it's almost like if I closed my eyes and then I'm on the other side. Does it make sense? Who has Alzheimer's or who had brain damage?
He did. They said upon impact that he did pass away, but he also they were trying to keep him alive, but they said he was brain dead.
Okay. thank you for singing to me, or thank you for holding my hand and singing to me. Someone's talking to him, someone's singing to him, but he was not in his body. He's like right behind you or holding you and saying, we're both here, or we're all here for you. Where's the J name? Where's like the Joseph or Jerry or Jimmy?
My grandfather, Joseph?
And is there Irish or English in the family?
Italian.
Where is the Irish or English around
Maybe
you?
my mom's side.
Okay.
That
Do
I
some
don't know.
research,
Okay.
because I feel like there's a big connection with like Irish or English in
Okay.
there. Okay. I'm laughing because they're showing me things. I'm laughing because they're saying either you don't do the dishes or you need to do the dishes, or something about dishes.
I didn't do the dishes before I got here. But I'm like a really OCD person. But I said, I was like, okay, like let me leave them for like one time, because I'm like very like cleanly person.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not gonna do the dishes. I made dinner and then I was like, I left them. I was like, I'll do them when I get back.
Oh, that is too funny. Well, they saw that. Yeah,
I
you
never
didn't do
do
the
that. I never
dishes.
do
You never
that.
do that.
No, I never do that.
I also need to talk about the person that crochets or knits or does like needlepoint.
My grandma did big time. Yeah.
Okay. She says she wants you to take up the art before you get married. Okay, something like to learn. You're really good with numbers. She says you're really good with numbers. And then who's in law or law enforcement?
A lot of my family, like my dad's side, yeah.
Okay, because they're bringing that up. Very patriotic as well. So someone
Very
is
patriotic. They're like scream America. Like, I'm not gonna say what political party.
Yeah,
but, you know,
we don't talk about
go
politics
America.
here.
America. Yeah, very patriotic. My family's very, very proud to be here. Yeah.
And where's the big chandelier?
My old house, huge, like right when you walk in.
Yes, it's. I mean, if you notice, I looked up because I'm like, well, I don't see one here, but they show me a beautiful chandelier. Like I feel like chandelier is part of either your new house or something. Like you should have a chandelier somewhere in your home, is what I'm being told. And who plays poker? Where's the poker? Who plays poker or cards? What's funny is like I'm hearing it on this side. Who plays the poker? Your grandfather used to play. You two are not related. Is that correct? Okay.
No, I don't have as good hair like that.
It's funny because I don't want her to leave, but I want you to sit. So if you could,
me?
so
Come join me.
can we do that? Okay. I want to say that this is a grandfather figure that's coming up. Obviously, you said the grandfather played the cards, right? But with that, there's also like playing chess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're an old soul. You're also an old soul, but you're an old soul. Like I want to say, like, oh my gosh, I'm surprised you're not like 150 or something like that. Do you sometimes feel like 150? It just feels like you're tired, or like you're always constantly working, right? And it feels like every time your grandfather says, like, don't be so hard on yourself, because it feels like the more you try, the more you're either letting yourself down, if that makes any sense. Sure. Things should come very easy to you, but you're a perfectionist. And so he's telling you just take a step back a little bit and allow everything else to flow, okay? You have a grandmother up there as well.
I do.
They're saying both sets or like 3 of the 4 are up there.
Right, 3 of the 4 are there,
okay. Yeah. Where was the divorce?
Wow, that's crazy. Wow. Yeah, my grandpa got divorced pretty late.
Okay, yeah. He regrets it.
Does he?
Mm-hmm. He regrets it. And they've made up, or they're making up, or he's trying to make up for that. Mm-hmm. Okay. I feel like there was some Alzheimer's setting in. It feels like there was something happening.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah,
because he says, this wasn't me.
Yeah,
and
he had Alzheimer's, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Why would he show me? I'm not sure if you're 40, something about 40 or between 40 and 50, but I think he was maybe maybe around that age or 60 when that happened? When the divorce started happening or things started going?
It was a little bit later. Yeah,
Oh.
a little bit later than that.
Okay. I feel like he was already having some problems with dementia or Alzheimer's before, like maybe when he was in his 50s or 60s. That's what he's telling me. This is where I see kind of like he shows me a break, like this used to be me, but then
he got better and then he got it again.
Oh, okay. You're not going to get it is what he says. You're not going to get it. There's 4 strong people. Who are the 4? You have 4 brothers, 4 strong people.
No, I'm an only child.
Only child.
Yeah.
What's with is there 4 in your family or there's 4 left or 4?
He had 4 kids. My grandpa.
He had 4 kids.
Yeah.
Okay. He's proud of all of his kids. Who had the heart issues? And you study the Bible a lot?
Me?
Yes. Do you reading the Bible? You studying the
Not
Bible?
as often as I probably should.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. I love the Bible. I mean, but he says it's okay. Like, don't be so hard on yourself. Oh, where's the pool? Were we supposed to have a pool? Did we have a pool? Do we have
There
a
was
pool?
a small pool in his backyard. Yeah, very small pool. Like, yeah.
He said it was enough to get his feet wet. He loved it, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce this name, but I want to say it starts with like an A and an L, or like I want to say Elijah, or where's the A name? I don't think it's like Asia. I want to say it's in a different language, but it's like an A.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's Agavni. That's my grandmother.
Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't
Agavni,
pronounce
yeah,
it.
we say Agavni.
Okay. I love her smile. You have her eyes. Like she shows me she was petite. She says, you have to tell him I was petite, or at least I feel petite.
Yeah.
Does she always carry either a rosary or she always carried like a little tissue with her? She still does. Yeah. It's like her comfort thing. Like, in fact, I think she had me put one. I'm not a magician or anything, but they just tell me to do things before I get here. Yeah. It's almost like I wanted to have something with me. But okay, that's just her telling me. I loved my life. I don't think I had an easy life, but I loved my life because I loved being able to see my grandkids grow up. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Where are the twins? Or why would she talk about the twins? Is there twins over here?
I have twins.
You have family. You have the twins. Okay. See, families. So your brother, your father is bringing his grandmother, and now they're just kind of talking back here. Yeah, they're just hanging out.
Just vibing.
Because I feel like the twins are going to come back. But you also have a cousin that's around your age that feels like a brother, or feels like would be like a twin of yours. He crossed over?
No.
Who was like your brother that crossed over? Like, I feel like someone that was like a really good friend, or you would have considered like a friend or a brother, crossed over. And I want to say he was either shot or was in an accident and passed away. Unless this is consistent with her. I mean, still connected with her, but I'm feeling it more on this side.
I could think of.
There was like a murder-suicide. Where's this?
My ex-boyfriend was murder-suicide killed. I have a lot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we could be here all day. Yeah.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yeah.
What's interesting is that his family is helping out your family, and vice versa. Like, they're just kind of mingling. Did you just buy a new rug? They're talking about a new rug or a new rollout carpet.
In my apartment, yeah.
Okay.
Literally today.
I like it. They like it. They approve.
Good. I guess I think, hopefully. What?
You have an anniversary that's coming up? What's with the anniversary?
In October.
October.
My brother's passing.
Anniversary.
Yeah,
Just,
and his brother and his birthday, all like right after each other.
okay. Are you accustomed to taking shots? And you're saying yes to. Is this a custom for both of you guys?
Absolutely.
Okay. They love when you guys take shots.
Thank God, because
Okay, I feel better now.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Where's the R name? Like a Raul or Ra? R, like an R name. Yeah. Your son is rough. Is he has a good designer, or like is he drawing a lot? What's with the drawing? What's interesting is I'm getting it more behind you. So who are you married to? Oh. It's interesting. I felt like, okay. What's with the drawing? Someone is married
My
to.
grandpa was a painter. Yeah.
Your grandfather was a painter. Okay. Why would he have gone back there with those guys? To play cards.
This is my other grandfather. Yeah.
The other, okay. Like I feel there's still a painting or there's still a drawing of his in the family.
Yeah.
Okay, and he.
Mom's house, yeah.
Okay. He loves either hot tea or it's a hot drink. I'm not sure what it is, but he's sipping on something really hot. It may be spiked. I don't know. Where's the architect? Or who's, well, earlier someone said, who's the realtor? You're the realtor. But are you also into like a certain type of house, like architectural, like there's a certain type of house that you like? Okay. I'm not sure why his grandfather is showing me you and what you do. So I'm not sure if you guys are related or you guys just know each other very well, but it's just like they're kind of conversing.
Sounds like him.
And did you just close on a deal? But I'm not sure if you just closed on a deal or you just closed on a deal. They said big bucks. Congratulations. They made it happen for you because it wasn't really going to happen or there was a hiccup. So I'm not sure if that actually, did that actually happen? It was okay. Where's the hiccup? There's a hiccup right now with, okay, it's gonna pass. Just let it pass. Don't hold on to that energy. Okay. The funny part is either your grandfather's talking to his grandfather, but someone's talking to someone over here. And do we also have a carpet that's hanging on the wall?
We did at his old house, yeah.
At his old house. What happened to it? Because he misses seeing it.
I think my grandmother got rid of it with the divorce, probably.
Oh, yes. She put the carpet down. It's okay. Because he says it was really old, is what he tells me. Like something that someone would have loved to have kept. And grandma crossed over because I feel like she's with him.
So my other grandmother from my mother's side is there. My grandmother from my father's side is here.
Is still here.
Right.
Okay, well, he's asking for a lot of forgiveness. I feel like she's forgiven him as well. And I feel that when you talk to her, well, I don't know what she's going to feel about this, but just let her know that he keeps on asking for forgiveness, that he adores her and he's so sorry for his actions. But I really honestly feel that there was a mental illness happening with him that he didn't even understand himself.
Definitely did have that, yeah.
So you own your own business?
I did at one point, yeah.
Okay. Because he says, try again and you'll succeed this time. Okay. And he also says, I'm sorry things were taken from you, but you're slowly getting them back. So I'm not sure what happened. Like, I'm not sure if we could talk about that after. That's one of those things where they're telling me, oh, maybe you talk about it off camera later on. Does it make sense?
Financially related?
Financially related, yeah. But he says, don't feel ashamed or don't feel embarrassed about it. Like, you will be able to bounce back and you're already on your way back. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
You also have Archangel Michael right behind you. He's your warrior. He's the one that's helping you through the battles.
Really?
Where's the Volkswagen? Oh, you have the Volkswagen.
White.
Oh. Okay. Sorry.
The white one. Wow.
Do you work with makeup or facials
I'm an
or?
esthetician, yeah.
Oh, I need for you to go get your nurses.
I'm in school for nursing.
Oh, okay, good.
Literally just finished my undergrad.
That's where
I'm
you're-
about to go to West Coast.
That's where the money's going to start coming in for you, okay? You're also a good influencer. Don't let it get to your head. Don't let it get to your head. Slow down a little bit.
Okay.
But with that, you're going to be more reachable. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Slow and steady. But you're on the right track. Also, being told that in this life, you also chose to give back to those that maybe have had injuries with the face, maybe burn patients, stuff like that, and that's going to be your way of giving back. That's your gift in this life, is to be able to have these abilities so that you can also help. That way, your energy is constantly going to be flowing. Make sense?
Yeah.
And you're really, really connected with children.
Yeah. I love kids. Yeah.
So making kids feel pretty, even after cancer, losing their hair is very important. You'll start getting your foot in the door. Okay. How are you connected to Hawaii? Have you been to Hawaii? Hmm. Who is in the Marines? Uncles that were in the Marines? Okay. I think we're going to switch you. Yes, you. Yes. Oh, and we're going to have you come sit here for a second. I think we'll take a sip.
Yeah, we should.
Thank God I didn't give up wine. Is this making sense so far? Do you guys feel more comfortable, more at ease? Okay, good. I kind of feel like everyone's starting to kind of settle in and feel more comfortable. But for some reason, you're still very nervous. So the reason why I had to turn over to this side is because they kept tapping you on the shoulder saying, when is it his turn? And so with the Marines, I feel like in this life, you should have also been, because you're a warrior, you should have been in the military as well. But you were saved from not going into the military because in a past life you died in a war. And so in this life, you're meant to live a full life. Does that make sense? But you don't feel like you're yourself. You sometimes feel like you're someone different.
Yes, actually.
And do you also speak 2 or 3 languages?
2.
2 languages. But you kind of know a 3rd language. Okay.
Working on it.
You're working on it.
Armenian.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if I didn't know any better, you're Hispanic?
Yes.
Okay. Because your ancestors are talking to me in Spanish.
Yes.
And where's the connection to the horses? And you have a father figure that passed away?
A long time ago, my grandpa.
Okay. I always like to be honest. You don't have sleeves on. You are full of tattoos. We see that. And I've been trying to avoid looking at anything else other than your face because I don't want to pick up on any clues. Make sense? However, I do feel like you carry your grandfather very near and dear to your heart. I also feel that there's some trust issues. So I'm not sure if your dad walked out on you or if there's a distance or something with the family being pulled apart. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
And I feel like in your short life of maybe, I want to say you're between 30 and 40, to say, I think that's how old, or that's at least how old they're telling me you are, that for a majority of that time, you felt like you didn't even know where your place was. So you've been trying to find yourself. Does that make sense?
Yes, it
You're
makes
really
sense.
good with business, by the way. Whether you're a business owner or you're an entrepreneur, I feel like you're really good with that. And you're really good with being able to negotiate for better prices or for something like that. Okay. But I also feel like your grandfather and great grandfather had the same gift of of knowing money and knowing how to work with money. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You've also built yourself from the floor up, and it's taken you a while. And a lot of people don't recognize that, but up in heaven, everybody does recognize your hard work, and they're saying, keep moving forward. Okay. What's with the cliff? Do you sometimes drive up on a cliff, or like it's almost like I'm looking over the ocean? What's with the cliff?
It's actually my house.
Your house is on a cliff.
Yes.
Oh,
So I'm there every morning drinking coffee.
they absolutely love that. They love looking out of the cliff. Okay. And did you have a white dog, or what's with the white dog?
I did have a white dog, but I gave it away.
Oh, you gave it away. Boo. No. Well, the grandfather, and you also, something with mom. So mom or grandmother crossed over?
My grandma.
Okay. Because she's the one that's showing me the white dog. So she must have liked the white dog. But it didn't fit in with either your schedule or just didn't fit in with the family. What's with the wedding bells? Are we engaged, or were we engaged?
I am.
You're engaged.
Yes.
And is there a birthday anniversary in November?
No.
What's in November? Did you is that your engagement, or is that when you guys are planning to get married, like in the fall?
There's been a talk, so it's more like because my daughter's doing her catechism, my wife wants to get married, so we don't know what direction to go to. So
okay. It just feels like the fall would be a good time for you guys to get married. Okay. And who's the one that sings? Who sings? Is it your daughter that's singing, or your wife? Someone's singing.
my grandma loved to sing.
Okay, because she's still singing now, but she's saying, like, I feel like someone hears me and someone sings as well, or she likes to hear someone sing. I feel like you need to go back to your roots, and you need to start listening to, canciones de mi padre, or, trio, something like that, where you can get a little bit of that back. But who had the heart problems, and who had the stomach issues, or who has them now?
It was my grandma.
Okay. Is your wife white? Like maybe not Mexican?
My wife is Mexican, but she loves country. So.
But she loves country.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That makes sense to me. She adores her, by the way. Okay, it's not making fun of her or anything like that. She just loves her. And she loves even the music that she's listening to, which is, country mimics Mexican music quite a bit. So Where's Jerry, or who's Jerry or Gerardo? And who owns like the? Okay, in my what they show me is someone owns guns, or someone like goes hunting, something with hunting, or someone owns guns, but it's just kind of to show them off. He's smiling. You don't have to answer that. Oh, that's you. Okay. You guys could see him on camera. It's like an art. It's not, it just feels like, oh my God, I love displaying this because it has a lot of history in it. There may be handed down, but they love that. What's funny is that his grandparents are showing it to me. So either you've been to his house or maybe not. I don't know, but it would be good for you to get your license to carry or something like that, is what I'm being told.
Okay. That's funny. I was just talking about that on the way over here.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, they're saying yes to that. That's also another way of confirming that they were with you in the car. Okay. Who got lost? Why do I feel like someone in the family got lost? Did you guys lose track of someone? Did someone become like homeless? It's almost like we're searching for somebody, but I'm not sure where that falls. And who lives in the East Coast?
I mean, I have a lot of family that's spread out that most of them haven't even met.
Most of them you haven't met. Okay. Oh. This almost feels like a case that I was on not too long ago, where the mother reached out and was saying, my son is lost. And he's 25. He was into drugs, and she just wanted to know if her son was alive or if he had crossed over. And I felt that he was alive. He just didn't want to be found. And then I told her, don't worry, in a month you'll get notice that he's in jail. And I just heard from her not too long ago that her son was actually in jail, but they had looked for him for a long time. So she would periodically check in to see, is he still alive? Do you still see him alive? And so I was able to connect and knew that he did not want to be found. But anyways, my point is that's the exact same feeling that I'm getting right now. So either there's a connection to a Martha, or there's a connection to someone in the family or friend that maybe has been lost to drugs or doesn't want to be found, or kind of like missing. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to anyone else other than you? Anyone else in the audience? No? Okay. I'm going to let it go. This is what happens, is that right now at the moment, and maybe this is something that's going to come up later, and you'll be like, oh, that's what she was talking about. So no worries with that. I just have to remove that person so that I could get something else. Where's Bill? Or who's Bill? Is there a Bill connection? What's that?
It was a place that we used to go and hang out.
It was a place you guys to go. Okay. See, that person before, that spirit before I sent him out the door, he says, you have to mention Bill. So that's why I know I'm in the right place, or I'm talking to the right people.
He was Irish.
And he was Irish. Okay. And he crossed over, is that correct? Or you don't know where he's at?
We don't know.
You don't. Okay, he's crossed over. Okay, yeah. So at least, whether it was, no, but I'm feeling him on this side. So they're just telling me that I feel like he's on this side. Okay. He was an older gentleman. Oh. And do you also have a big tattoo on your back?
Yeah.
And not because you're Hispanic, but is there Aztec connections?
Yes.
Okay. Well, this man told me. He says, maybe there's room for me there. And where's the R name or R connection? Like a Robert, Robert. Okay. Who had their toes? It's almost like someone had diabetes and their toes were either cut or they had to cut their toes. This is your dad? Okay. I feel like his feet are back. But is there somebody else as well? Like, does someone have a problem now with the toes? Half the leg. Okay, well, for me, that's still part of the, because I miss my toes wiggling, is what I keep hearing. But your father's still alive, is that correct? Crossed over. Well, he feels really good to me. He feels like he's still very much here. It doesn't mean that he's earthbound. It just means that for me, he still feels very much alive. So whether he just crossed over or has been gone for maybe 5 years, okay, well, he still feels really good to me. Okay. And your father as well, is that correct? The toes. Amputated, yeah. Okay. Because they're showing each other their toes. It's almost like I want to take my shoes off and show them my toes too, you know? Where I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Okay. Oh, okay. Where's the cane? Or who had the cane or who owns like the cane? It feels like someone still has my cane.
That was my great grandma.
Your great grandma. Okay. Well, she's coming in with them. And where is the mandil or the blanket that she left behind?
When she passed, a lot of the family came into her room and just took everything. So my mom was trying to put some of the stuff away, but they felt that they had the right to come and they took everything. So by the time she got to that, everything was gone. But she did have, it was a blanket that she liked to hold on to.
Your grandma says, one, I feel like she was upset that happened. But two, that the blanket does belong to your mom. So how we get it back, I'm not sure. I just feel like your grandmother's doing whatever she needs to up there. Obviously, she's not connected to these things. You know, when we cross over, we don't take clothes with us or money or anything with us. But she didn't approve of how things were taken and how this blanket really did belong to your mom. And she just says, you know, one, I'm sorry. Two, I'm right here with you. So when your mom cooks, it's almost like she's always constantly talking to your grandmother.
She does.
And so she just says, like, I love when you turn my music, like when we listen to music or we listen to the novelas, and I love when you're cooking because I'm right there with you. It's kind of, it also feels like a lot of the family has been separated, and it's okay for you guys to stay in your own little family, if that makes any sense. Okay? For your fathers, their legs are back and their toes are back. Okay. Was there a wooden shoe? What's with the wooden shoes? They almost feel like wooden platforms or wooden, I don't know. You know, like the Danish wear those wooden shoes. Have you guys seen them? Like, I'm not sure what that connection is or how it fits in. Or maybe they're saying like a wooden leg, you know, kind of like that. Does that make sense to you? Okay. Did your father have diabetes as well? Why do I feel like there was problems with my circulation? It was with his bones. But at some point, was he not able to move the rest of his legs? Like, I feel like he was in a wheelchair. He was bedbound. It's interesting because he shows me like wanting to sit up, like sitting up. So he wasn't allowed to sit up. Got it. He's perfectly fine. He laughs about it actually now. He's like, was there a bed that almost came up a little bit?
Makeshift bed.
It was a makeshift bed. Okay. Because he shows me he could, I don't know if you guys tilted him or what, but I felt like most of the time like he could come up. That's how he's showing it to me. And what do we have on the nightstand? Do we have his picture? We have something of his on, is there something about a nightstand or a little table on the side? Is it you? Someone has a picture of your loved one on a nightstand.
Well, my mom has a lot of pictures of my grandma.
On the nightstand.
Nightstand.
Okay. See, all they're doing is like, this family's talking and then his family's talking, but then they want to bring me over here again. And so this is what's going to be happening.
I bet my grandpa can't stop talking.
He loves to talk. He's talking to their dads and then he's talking to her brother. But then I also feel there's another mother figure over here. So whose mom, grandmother passed away? Yours? Okay. What's with the pink or the butterflies? And what's with you moving from one place to another? Okay, yeah, okay.
I moved from Memphis to California.
You moved from Memphis, California. Okay. Do you know you're supposed to be singing or acting?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to.
Okay, so I see all the spotlights on you. So I also feel that that is going to be happening. I will catch up with you in a little bit, okay? Oh, yes, please, please. So I'm having a whole conversation up here.
I don't know.
With you, one last thing. There's a new contract or a new something that's going to be happening. I want to say within the next 5 to 6 months. Like, just be on the lookout for it. I don't know if it's a renewal of something, okay? Let's make sure we close out the deals and that we keep growing the business, if that makes any sense. Also, keep doing God's work is what I keep hearing, okay? I'm not sure that you're going to want to go back to steak. Actually, not sure. I don't think so.
Steak?
Yeah.
Like meat?
Like eating meat. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been on Lent for over a week now. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I gave up all meat. Yeah, I went vegan. Yeah.
yeah. I feel like you'll
How
be
would
able
you know that? That's crazy.
Yeah. But I think we did, but I think we did talk about Lent in the room. So I have to be transparent about that.
I didn't mention steak
But no, you didn't mention steak, but I feel like when you come out of Lent, either you're just going to eat it less or I'm being told maybe more lamb and less steak. I don't know. Okay. I'm also being told that part of your journey, your spiritual journey, will be to like take flowers to your church as a way to give back. Okay.
I will do that.
I'm not sure what's with the liquor store. What's with the liquor store?
Yeah, my dad was going to purchase one recently. Yeah.
Your dad?
He was going to purchase one.
He was going to? Wait. I think that's the 5-6 months. So just wait a little bit. I don't think the location's the right one or it's not the right time. Okay. But it will happen. And is there 4 investors? No, there's 3 investors. It feels like other people want to get in on the business. Maybe there should only be 2.
Okay.
Okay. Too many hands in the pot just doesn't end up working out well.
All right.
And your dad's very stubborn. And so he likes things done one way.
Yeah, that's 100%.
And so they wouldn't last anyways. You could guide him, but it's almost like once you hand it over, oversee it from above and help him out that way, but maybe not right in front of his face. Does it make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Your grandmother blessed you. I feel like the grandfathers are blessing you. Where's the uncle who passed away? I'm coming back to you in a second. Okay. They just took over. So
No, I'm listening. I'm chilling. Don't come back. Don't tell them anything about me, please. You didn't see all that stuff that I've been doing. I'm just kidding.
Uncle.
There's no uncle that crossed over?
Like immediate, like my uncle?
It could be your uncle. It could be a great uncle. I feel like there's either your dad's brother or feels like dad's brother or someone that was like dad's brother. So say, for instance, like a really good friend. Sometimes we could say like, oh my God, I love you so much, like my sister or my soul sister. Does that make sense? Something like that. The connection is with the R name.
R name.
Mm-hmm. So anyways, they're just guiding your dad or they're just helping him. And it may be a childhood friend that crossed over and that's like here and then crosses over. So for me, it was either an accident or it was like an illness that came and then just took him out. Does that make sense? Careful with the heart issues in the family is what I keep hearing. So just careful with the heart issues. Your uncle passed away from... Oh, wow. Wait, how are you guys connected? You guys are just friends? So then your uncle came here. I mean, he's talking through him. Sorry. Yeah, okay. He says that was one hell of a ride. I'm sorry? Yes. I know you were supposed to come up here. Do you want to come up here?
Yours?
I'm sorry.
My last name is Rivera.
Sure.
Your last name is Rivera.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's your grandmother that crossed over. Is that correct?
She did, yes.
Okay.
Let's come on, see it, baby.
And okay, the heart attacks are coming in. And they're all because they're
Living in the United States Express, baby.
Stressed out.
Here's the thing is that I feel like the men that are coming in with the heart attacks, they're all coming in together. The interesting part is that the energy that so if you notice, I kept looking back because I'm like, yes, I'll eventually get to you because you're hiding back there. You know, he's just hiding. But with your uncle or with your uncle, and with you, it just feels like they're giving you the energy to be able to move forward because you're a completely different man than 3 years ago. And you're constantly wondering, why are you still here? Or what was the difference between you and theirs who crossed over at around the same age, right? But you had what we call an exit point, no different than when I had my stroke 5 years ago, right? We had that opportunity to cross over and be with God and be in heaven. However, your work has not been completed. But it also feels different for you because in your past life, you didn't live past this time period. So at that age, you passed away at that age in a past life. So now things feel either more crisp or clear or kind of more maybe 4D-ish. Does that make sense?
It does.
And so you're more in tune and closer to heaven and God now than you ever have been before. And anything that you do now is very intentional, right? By smelling the flowers or smelling the coffee or smelling someone's perfume, it's more intentional because you're grateful that you're still here. However, the mark and the hole still remains in your heart. It's okay that you're not feeling yourself, but really enjoy who you are now. And I also want to say that the father figure or grandfather that crossed over saved you and said, it's not your time. You can't get out of this so fast. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You're worthy of being here. And you're either starting a new life, you're either just getting married or you're in a relationship, or it's something like you're renewing a life and family. It's okay to stay away from those that didn't help you. Don't feel like you're obligated to be in those relationships. Make sense? You have 3 little girls?
No.
No kids?
2 boys.
2 boys. It's funny because I feel like you have 3 little girls running around you. So either they're going to come in as your grandchildren later on, right? Or you have 3 little angels that are always constantly around you. Where's the boat?
We're wanting to get a boat because we want to move to Florida.
Oh, yes. Yes on the boat.
Yes on the boat? All right.
And yes to moving to Florida.
My fiance is watching, so she said yes.
Oh, yes, she's watching? Oh,
Yeah.
yes, it's a definite yes. I feel like your stress levels is going to come down once you move, okay? I also know that your wife prayed so much for you to be able to get through this. Did we leave a mark, or was there like
There's a scar on the front of my heart, yeah.
Were you thinking about getting a tattoo on the scarf? Okay. Yeah. It's okay for you to do it. Or it's okay that you did it.
I'm okay, thank you.
And take a deep breath. You're okay.
No, because I came with Mario, and then you were talking about a mother, and he's close to my mom too. Like, he's like a brother.
Oh.
And I just got out of rehab. I was in there for 68 days. I was lost.
You were lost. Yeah. Yeah, this is a brand new you. And you're going to have those moments where you're just like, why was I left here? Why was I given this second chance? This is a second chance that you give your 2 boys. This is the second chance that you give your wife. This is the second chance that you give yourself to fulfill your life. There's a poem called The Dash, if you've ever heard of it. And the poem really talks about the beginning of your year where you were born, the beginning date, and then when you cross over. But what really matters and what people talk about during your eulogy is that what happened in between, and that's the dash. And you could be mid-dash, and for you, you could have ended there, right? But you didn't. Your higher self said, we're going to give you another opportunity because you still have so much to give. But you owe it to yourself. You need to know that you're worthy of being here and that you could live a life free of whatever substance that you thought you had to use to hide the pain that you've been carrying for so long. Does it make sense? Mm-hmm. So you're so worthy of being here. And I would say a brand new, a new place, still having close relationship with your friends is going to be important because they've helped you, they've lifted you, they've carried you along this journey, and they love you no matter what. And that's the important part here, right? But you also need to learn how to love yourself and know how worthy you are. And that your ancestors and your loved ones that have crossed over have said, give yourself this opportunity. Be okay with it. Remember not to get stuck on that rearview mirror and look back all the time. That's done. It's past. Whatever happened an hour ago is done. I need for you to look forward. Look out that big windshield, right? When you're driving, the rearview mirror is only there for you to glance back at it to see where and how far you've come. Don't get stuck on that rearview mirror. The other thing you want to do, there's a great meditation called Ho'oponopono, and that meditation consists of 4 things. One is I'm sorry. On a daily basis, I am sorry to myself, to anyone in this life or in any past life that I've ever hurt in any way. Please forgive me. Thank you, and I love you. And this is going to change the path from here on out for yourself. Did you notice that when you had your heart attack, that you didn't cross over, but someone else in the family did?
No, I did cross over.
You did cross over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I remember like it was yesterday.
And was there 3 people that met you there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they had a long conversation with you, and it felt warm.
And it felt like it was days.
Yeah. Because there's no sense of time, right? And you really wanted to stay up there. I know it. Because when I went and I was in front of my dad, I so wanted to stay. And what felt like an eternity for me, right, is maybe just a couple of hours, right? And then when you woke up, you were very sad that you were back, weren't you?
I wasn't sad, but I was at peace.
Good.
Like I wasn't afraid.
Good. You shouldn't be afraid.
It was the craziest thing I've ever gone through.
And how do you see your life now?
Getting it back, working on it.
Yeah.
Because I did lose myself because of that.
You lost yourself because of that. Interesting. When, that happens because you were meant to stay up there. And when you came back, even though you were at peace, it's still surreal for us, right? And so then whatever medication, it's easy for you to, kind of go on that bandwagon, and then it's hard to come off it. But congratulations. I'm so happy that you're clean, and I'm so happy that you're going to live a full life.
Thank you.
And I wouldn't be surprised if another baby is coming into your life. Okay. So just know that. Is there an August connection? Is there a birthday anniversary in August?
In August. Oh my gosh. So my fiance and I'm still married. I've been going through a divorce for 3 years.
Okay.
And we have trial in August.
You have trial in August.
Finalize it so we can get married.
Everything's going to go well. It's important that you wish your ex-wife a lot of love and a lot of white light. My ex-husband promised that he was going to kill me. And I wished nothing but the best for him. I went to the ocean and I told God, I promise there won't ever be an ounce of hate towards this man for everything that he did, as long as you take him far enough away where I never have to look over my shoulder. And 6 months later, he was deported back to Mexico, and I have not seen him for 17 years. But the point here is that there isn't an ounce of me, no matter what happened in those 14 years, I do not hold anything towards him, anything bad, this is exactly how I need for you to start feeling the same for her, for the children, right? Because at the end of the day, we need to learn how to co-parent. And all that's happening is that, you crossing over and then not, and then the marriage not working out and stuff like that. The whole pono, asking for forgiveness, right? Letting all of that go away so that you could start new, because you have a new lease on life. Make the best of it. Okay? I wish you the best.
No, thank you. I appreciate that.
You could stay there if you want. But I don't know if you need to go decompress, but you can stay there if you want. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It's going to take you a couple of days to kind of like maybe even have to listen to this again so you can know what happened, or just for it to really sink in.
Yeah.
But I know that the uncles that have crossed over, they're here to support him and to say, lean on us whenever you need that. Ask for the support. It's okay to do that. Okay. Don't buy a motorcycle.
Oh, that she's watching.
Is that something you wanted?
Yeah, we've talked about it, and she doesn't want me to get one.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Don't buy the motorcycle.
Don't buy it.
No. You may have another close call in 5 years. So don't buy a motorcycle. Okay? Be more mindful of anything that you do from here on out. So, okay. Okay, so they're saying thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
They're saying thank you. I'm going to switch back to you. to my movie star, to my model. And actually, you could come back. This guy here. Yeah, you could come back. What's with rebuilding your life?
I'm just at a point in my life. I'm like, I don't know what to do, and like, I just need to like start brand new or like figure out what is that's right for me.
Okay. Here's the thing, and I feel like the mother grandmother figure that crossed over, she's telling you haven't, like, in other words, you didn't cut the cords cleanly when you came out here. Does that make sense? I feel like either you still have ties to where you came from, right? Or you still have memories that you're carrying. And it's almost like dead weight that's not allowing you to actually move forward. Believing in yourself, I feel like at some point you were stripped from you being able to believe in yourself. Someone made you doubt you and who you are.
Yeah.
And all I can say is F them. Because they stripped this little girl from all of her dreams, and your grandmother's putting a crown on you and she's saying, you go for it. Yeah. You go and you move forward and you achieve anything that you want because it's all here ready for you. Don't settle for anything less. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You're settling. You're like, if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Yeah, you need to go after it. Okay? What you sometimes show is very different than what you actually feel, right? And I'm not trying to put you on the spot. It's just, this is what your grandmother is telling you. Like, you don't have to show or pretend to be someone that you're not. It's okay for you to open up your heart again. Okay. It's okay for you to love again and know that you're worthy of being loved, not being used, but being loved. Okay.
Okay.
I love the looks that everybody's giving each other.
We're dramatic as we're like.
I know. I love this. Who lost the baby? And are we okay to talk about it? Did we lose a baby? Someone lose a baby? Your aunt and your friend and your grandma lost a baby. Did you guys just join us? Hi. Hi.
They snuck in.
Yeah. Could we get them up here, like, so that they could sit up here? Yeah. I think you're still okay. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm going to have you move for a second. Hi. Okay. Yes, and then I want you here. Yes, thank you. Okay. And then, perfect. You can say thank you. Okay. So they lost a baby. What's interesting is that her grandmother is bringing in your family and saying, "Oh, like there's a baby. We have a baby up here." Okay. What's the connection to law enforcement? Or is someone going to court, like either law or law enforcement? And this may be for you as well because they're coming in together. So did you date someone in law enforcement? Okay, well, law enforcement's around you guys. And she's laughing.
I didn't pay a ticket, but that's about it right now. I'm like, oh my God. Take me.
Do you want to move? I can talk to you after.
I'm chilling, or I can move if you need me. Yeah, whatever.
She wants to move. I can feel like you want to move. No, I think you're fine there. Just give me give me some time. The interesting part is your grandmother brought in her grandmothers. Your grandmother passed away. Is that correct?
One of my grandmothers, yes.
Mm-hmm. Who has the clear eyes or like the hazel eyes? I know you do. But where's the hazel eyes, or is this your grandmother that had them?
My family has hazel eyes. For
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't want to go into that. Sorry, they're trying to tell me something, and I didn't really want to go into that here. So I think I have to go into this afterwards. That's where I call like the kind of like the privacy. Yes, privacy clause that we have. No, and the thing here is that maybe some things are too sensitive, and maybe your loved ones want to talk about it out like off camera versus on camera. Does that make sense? But I do need to apologize for the way you were treated. Okay. Whether it was growing up, whether it was recently, and that's what I need to maybe talk about off camera. Okay. I do feel like this baby is in a very good place. I feel like the baby will be coming back. I also feel like there's new life coming into the family. So either there's someone already pregnant. Okay. And it's most likely going to be a little girl, is what I'm hearing. Do we know what the sex of the baby is?
A girl.
A girl, yes. She's going to share the same beautiful eyes that the rest of the family has. Where's the blue car?
It was my grandpa's that passed away, and now my brother has it.
Yeah. So it's very blessed, and grandfather's making sure that that car is being taken care of, okay? And I feel like grandpa's picture's on the car somewhere. Like, I'm not sure if it's on the visor or there's something that belongs to grandfather in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In all our cars, actually.
In all of your cars. He doesn't like for you guys to smoke. That's as far as I'm going to take. He was a smoker. Yes. That's funny. Mm-hmm. I think that because of his illnesses, he doesn't want you guys to carry the same ones. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but see, someone else smoked something completely different than your grandfather smoked. That he had no problem talking about that. But he's laughing. I feel like there's a lot of humor, a lot of laughter in this, and they feel really good to me. What's with the promotion? Did you just get a promotion? Did someone just get a promotion?
My aunt.
Okay. She needs to take her promotion seriously and know that it was like meant for her to have it or to get it. Does that make sense? And where the duplex, or where's like the houses that share a wall, or like you live close or on the same property?
No.
It's almost like there's 3 properties in one. I mean, like 3 houses or 3 apartments in one property.
Maybe my grandmother in Hawaii.
Your grandmother in Hawaii? Hawaii, see? She was already coming through to you. Hawaii came up earlier. Mm-hmm. So, but I thought it was for him. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Do you have an audition coming up? Or were you supposed to audition, or
I just had one recently, yeah.
You just had one recently? And are you also taking voice lessons?
Mm-mm.
Okay, sign up for voice lessons. You have a great voice, by the way. I just feel like if we can get you to start singing, that will be part of the audition. Okay? Did we also pick up a guitar? I'm going to come back to you in a second. Where's the guitar?
Not here.
But you do play a guitar, is that correct?
Mm-mm.
Who, you? Okay. And you sing. Okay. Do you live in Hollywood, or what's with Hollywood? Other than like wanting to be behind spotlights? You live in Burbank. what's the connection to Hollywood, whether you or you, other than wanting to be a movie star in Hollywood? Like, what's another connection? Do you guys hang out there? Because I feel like there's an umbilical cord that brings Hollywood to one of you.
I lived by like Runyon for a long time in Los Feliz, like.
So it's border.
I like moved to Hollywood from Tennessee.
Oh, so you moved to Hollywood from Tennessee?
Yes.
Right? Okay. Because there's that cord. Does that make sense? And because both of you are in the art, it kind of divides, if that makes any sense. Here's the crazy part. I feel like someone was stabbed, or they're talking about a stabbing. How does that fit in? And it's in this area here.
Stabbing.
What's that?
Not a stabbing, but a shooting.
A shooting. Is that in the chest area?
Yes.
Okay. It's crazy how all the energy is just bouncing back and forth. Was there 2 people or 3 people?
One was 3, the other was 2.
Ages.
The 3 was my friend, which she was 20-ish, and then she had her baby, so she was still pregnant.
I love that they're together. And they're telling you we are together. We're the butterflies that you see flying around. Okay. And there is no anger. Like, we forgive him. I want to say him.
Yeah.
Okay. And is this person behind bars, or did they take their life?
Behind bars.
Okay. I feel like he's going to attempt suicide at some point. Where's the, she talks about a tree. What's with the tree? Do we have candles, or we do have pictures, something about a tree, or is there a tree in the house? I mean, or like, oh, that's vague. Hold on. Give me more. Give me a second. She's showing me one particular tree. And it's a beautiful tree, and it almost feels like there's a memorial there for her.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I'm going to open this up to anybody else because the tree's not going away. So it feels like there's.
He passed away. He passed away when he like fell on a tree, and that's where he died. And they made a whole memorial.
They made a memorial. Oh, the interesting part is he's with her. Like, oh, so he's just, okay. See, I have no control over that.
Like, really pretty.
Yes, it's beautiful. And I feel like we need to do something for your friend and the babies. Like a memorial, a place where we can go and sit down and enjoy, the leaves and the butterflies and everything around us.
That's funny you say that, because I didn't have like the guts to actually go to her viewing and stuff.
Okay. Well, that's okay, because she came to you.
She pops in my dreams a lot.
Mm-hmm.
She does.
Yep. And she's okay that again, sometimes it's just the shell of the body, right? So she was okay with you not going there, but maybe creating a beautiful place, a peaceful place that you can visit, and you could put flowers, or you can, I would say even, throw some seeds so that wildflowers grow all the time. And, there's new growth, new love that happens there. Right. And so I thank your brother for giving her that idea, because this is your way of even finding closure with it. And what's the connection to May, or the connection to 5? So was this like 5 weeks ago, 5 months ago, 5 years ago, or there's a connection to May, or there was 5 in the family?
I'm trying to think. It might have been 5 years already, maybe.
In 5 years.
I'm trying to think, yeah.
Okay. Do you have a father figure that passed? Because I have a father that's right behind you saying, well, when is it our turn? Okay, I'm going to have you. Sorry. How are we all doing? How's everybody doing? Everybody's good? Do you guys need a drink? Do you need water?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah?
Drink.
Please? Take a shot. This isn't my show, it's their show. Could they have drinks?
I need a shot for sure.
Yeah. Okay. How's everybody else doing? We're all doing good? Good.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. There you go. Thank you, girls.
Thank you.
Okay. Did you write a song for your dad? He says, thank you. It was to the T. He loves to listen to you sing. And was there a period of time where you couldn't see him? And he's okay. He says it's okay.
In a mental hospital for a little bit. He had anorexia.
Okay. He says, I'm good. I'm better now than I was when I was alive. My purpose was to bring you into this world. And there's a brother as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's with you guys not talking, or there's a disconnect? Mend your relationship.
Okay. Wow. Jeez.
But also keep boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because I feel like he can overtake you. Keep boundaries. And it's okay to keep that distance if it's for your own sanity. He loves to tap you on the back.
Wow. Oh my God.
And why do I feel like there's a grandmother figure up there as well?
Just his mom. She
Okay.
passed, yeah.
But your mom is still here, is that correct? Because I feel like
Thank
she's
God.
still here. Yep.
Thank God.
And what's with all the plants or the pots?
My family, his family owned a farm.
Okay. So a lot of planting, a lot of plants.
Yeah.
He's telling you that he would love for you to spend more time in nature?
I started planting too during COVID. Yeah, wow.
And start planting your herbs and your salads and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh.
Did your stomach problems go away?
My stomach problems. I had anorexia too as well. So I don't know if that's the connection.
Okay, so I feel like you're way better now than you were before. Okay.
Yeah.
And he says that you're constantly telling him, I'm doing this for you, Dad. Or like, and so he just says like, I can hear you.
That's very true. Yeah.
Do you sing at a bar or do you sing like at a club?
Yeah, usually at bars and clubs and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Demand for more.
Okay, that's
Demand a lounge or something.
I agree.
But he also likes you when you wear long dresses.
I'm short. Yeah, of course. He's
I mean,
my dad.
Because he says that you have a very, not that you're not classy, you have a very nice classy style. Does that make sense?
If he says it, if Dad says it, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. And that's what he's telling you. Like, give yourself your worth. Not that this is bad. Mm-hmm. This is telling people, I'm showing you who I am, which is perfectly fine. But he wants you to now go on to a more serious side. Okay. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Because he says, you have beautiful hair. You have beautiful long hair. And just give yourself a little more attention is what he's telling you. But he loves it when you look at yourself in the mirror, that you see your eyes, those are his eyes.
Oh my God.
And that you guys communicate through your eyes.
That's really crazy because I've been like wearing color contacts, not right now, to cover my eyes because they are his
eyes.
Don't cover them again, please.
And my friend Lydia has been telling me to take the color contacts out and just have your eyes be like that. They're the same eyes as my father. And
you have beautiful
it's just hard
eyes.
to look at them sometimes.
Yeah. Be yourself. He gave you these beautiful eyes for a reason. Don't cover them up, right? He loves the summertime. And he loves when you guys go to the beach. Like, I want to go to the beach. What's with the pies? Someone makes pies? Pies. Are you learning how to make pies? But it may be a meat pie or some type of a pie. Are you learning how to make crust? Pasta. You're learning how to make pasta. Oh.
So did I.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm going to move you for a second. I need her. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you. I appreciate
You're welcome. I think they're in shock. Yeah. What's with the trip to Italy? Were we planning on going to Italy, or you just bringing Italian or Italy into your home?
So we just had, I took a class, pasta making class. It's called At Italy.
At Italy? Oh.
Like a few days ago.
Oh, very good.
So I started making pasta with my daughter at home.
Yes. Okay. Is this mom that crossed over? Or is this dad that crossed over? But you also have a grandmother that's here.
Here?
Well, I mean, that crossed over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yes. Here. I know. For me, the here is like here. I love the memories that you're creating. I also love the recipes. So we're either collecting recipes or we're constantly looking at recipes. And Dad says you have really good flavoring or something about like having good flavor or good taste.
Not what my husband says.
Okay, what's with the salt though? So you like it saltier? Something about a salt, like either not adding enough salt to it, but I feel like
I never add salt.
Oh, you never add salt. Okay, sprinkle a little salt. It's just a tiny bit. What's in April for you? Yeah, I feel like we're celebrating something in April. So you are married to him, right? Yeah. What's in April? It's his mom's birthday.
Yeah, but
she's still
thankfully she's here with us.
Yeah. What your family is doing right now is they're just showing me what celebrations there are, what they see, right? So they see you cooking, they see you bringing a little bit of Italy into your home. And also I feel like maybe in April for his mom, you make a good like pasta for everybody. Kind of like expanding your horizons. Does it make sense?
Okay.
Did you guys and maybe we just did we talk about you redecorating, or who's the one that had the white walls? Oh, you're the one that had the white walls. Okay. Okay. What's with the peacock colors? Which is like a lot of these colors that you see on these walls, your really pretty greens and your blues and your golds. Is there a pop of that, or where is that at? Is it here? No. What's with the peacocks? So were you guys near Arcadia and there's peacocks? There's something about peacocks coming up. No. Okay, they're bringing up the peacocks. There's something about peacocks. And it could be, and you're going to see later on, you're going to see the peacock feathers. You're going to be like, oh, that's what she was talking about. So this is what the father figure is showing me, okay? Where's the crocheting or where's the knitting? Or why do I feel like we do something with our hands, like crochet, knitting, or sewing?
My mom sews.
Your mom sews. And do we put monograms like our initials on certain clothes or certain towels? Or did we recently buy something with our initials? It's not going away. Anybody else? Did you? Your dad tailors your kids' initials on. Really? Well, your dad must be talking to her dad because they're both talking about the sewing, the initials. They feel like old friends. I don't know why they feel like old friends. Maybe because you guys are all friends or you guys talk to each other, but it just feels like they feel familiar with each other. And then I need to talk about the pizza oven. Who has the pizza oven? Or who is thinking about getting the pizza oven? Okay. Yeah, there's a big oven. I know someone has either a big fireplace in the back or they were thinking about bringing in a pizza oven or creating a pizza oven. No? Okay.
We have a fireplace in our backyard.
So is there something about a pizza oven that you haven't maybe talked to your wife about? Okay. Because this would be a good time to maybe say it.
Does it have to be a pizza?
Well, it feels like it's an oven that we're going to be cooking in. That's what it feels like. And it feels like it's in the backyard. Like in a cooking patio or something like that. So someone either has an outside kitchen area and you guys are planning on putting, whether it's a pizza oven or whether it's a smoker, it just feels like we pop food inside and it cooks.
My uncle has been thinking about it, I think, and we usually go over and do cookouts there.
I usually do cookouts there. Okay. Then maybe it's you because it's not sounding familiar to them. They also placed the baby on your hands. So who lost the baby? Was there someone in the family, like a sibling or someone that lost a baby?
Recently?
Could have been any time. They're just and I feel because the father figure and also the grandmother figure laid a baby on you. So if it's not that someone lost a baby, then this for me is a sign that they're bringing you a baby.
I hope not.
And where's the gold horse? It's like a statue of a golden horse. Is anyone familiar with that? It's like very distinct. It's not very big, but it feels like it's on a table or on an end table. Or someone loves horses. Actually, did you guys talk about something about horses? Is there a gold statue of horses?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
Downstairs.
Okay.
My little cousin has a horse.
Your cousin has a horse. And is it a goldish color?
I'm not sure.
Okay. I'm being told yes to that. In addition to the statue, I feel like either this nephew is going to be so good that he's going to start getting awards like for writing. If that makes any sense. Okay. Where?
In the cigar lounge.
Really? I don't know how I missed it. By the way, there is an older man that sits in there. Why? Oh no.
I work there every Thursday.
Yeah, that's fine. He doesn't.
Does he want old fashioned or?
I would say he likes smoky drinks. So I don't know. It's like a whiskey or something that's very smoky. Yeah.
Every time I
Yeah, just maybe put a drink, set a little drink for him there. And were you supposed to bring a shawl, or do you normally wear a shawl? What's with the shawl? Who wears the shawl? Like, who's always cold? Is this your mom? Okay. Where's the shawl? Who wears the shawl? Your who? But your so I can't. You guys are too far from me. I can't hear you, ladies. But so your grandmother and your grandmother. Okay. Where's Michael? Who? Your dad's name Michael. Yeah. Okay. And grandfather. And your cousin. Okay. The funny part is that here's what's happening. As much as I'm hearing for you here, I don't know if it's because you're nervous and you're not like connecting because you're nervous. But when I'm just, for me, as I'm talking to you guys, I'm also talking to them. I'm like, test, is anyone here? And they're like, oh yeah, say Michael. Oh, look, talk about the shawl, talk about this and that. So I know there's a deep connection, but I feel like maybe, and this happens to a lot of people. I did the same thing with when Michael asked me about my brother, if his name was Joe. And I said, I have no idea who Joe is. He goes, no, your brother's name is Joe. No, it's not. Because I couldn't remember at the moment. But I feel like with you, things may make connection afterwards. What I do see is like you love looking out the window. Like you're a deep thinker. You're constantly thinking about what is your next step or what you want to do, what you want to achieve. You're a fantastic mom. I love you being a mom. I wish you would have had 3 kids. Okay? And whether, I'm sorry? Oh. These guys. Well, the audience can't see what's happening back there, but these guys are just out of control. But I want you to know how worthy you are and how important you are to your children or to your daughter. But I also feel like you have another one. You have 2, is that correct? Okay. One daughter has traveled with you through all of your lives. And this is like your 3rd or 4th life. And you're very afraid of losing a child. And that's because you did lose your child in a past life. I feel like maybe that's why the connection of losing a child is so vivid in you or your energy. And so in that case, I'm saying that you either are going to have another child because you were meant to have 3 in this life. If not, just know that one is closer to you because of the lives that you've traveled, where your maybe oldest daughter or the youngest, the other daughter, may be closer to dad because she's traveled with dad for his years or his lives. Does that make sense? But it's important that you connect with both of them on the same level. Poor thing. I feel like I'm putting her on the spot.
No, it's okay. She's an amazing mom.
Yes, you feel like an amazing mom. I know you're an amazing mom. Okay. I love when you wear pleated pants. I don't know why, but pleated pants. Okay. And they're also telling me you're a good dancer.
No.
Maybe you need to take your dance more. Maybe just family gatherings. I kind of feel like the spirits are starting to get tired, or so how are we with time? Because it just kind of, something feels a little off right now.
We've been on for about 2 hours and 19 minutes.
Oh, that's why. Yeah. Spirits are like, what else are we supposed to come up with, right? I would love, first of all, does anyone have any questions? Yes.
I wanted to say a lot of the connections that you made were also very relevant to me and people that I've lost.
Really?
The rug on the wall, the stabbing,
Oh,
the shawl, the knitting.
could we come back over here? Or no, or are you okay? It's up to you. Okay, we can talk about this afterwards. I know people probably want to get back to their normal lives and have a drink or maybe go to sleep because today's Monday. I totally get it. But does anyone, I mean, I would love to connect with you afterwards and talk a little more about it, right? Yeah, that's o- that's okay. Thank you for that. Does anyone have any questions? Do you guys have any questions for me? Um, any way you guys want to close? Right. I mean, I thank all our viewers. Thank you so much.
By the way,
Yes.
the 7-year-old that you were talking about,
Yes.
she was supposed to be here today.
Oh,
Yeah. So, and she's watching though.
the mom of the 7-year-old. The 7-year-old has been running around here waiting for you, and I'm sorry that you couldn't be here in person. But your little boy is telling you that he loves you and that he's very much around you and that he feels so happy that he gets to be with his dogs and he has all these little chickens that he's running around with.
She had a daughter.
A daughter. Well, for me, if it's a daughter, then this spirit is coming through as a boy only because she's strong. So she either went through a lot when she was here and just comes up stronger. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense to you guys or not. But did she lose her hair? Do we have contact with mom at all right now?
I mean, if she's okay with being on the phone.
Chelsea, can you give me my phone, please? Well, you're sitting next to me. I'm not gonna thank you.
I got you.
Sorry, Lydia, we didn't ask you to get the phone. Would you like us to put the phone back and have you bring it over?
All right, ladies, don't need to fight over me.
Or your phone.
It gets crazy back here.
Let me text her and see if she.
While you're texting
Okay.
her, what did you guys think? You guys got closure, a lot of you? And you're okay with sticking around just a little bit, maybe having some more wine and kind of doing a little bit of okay.
Of course.
As long as there's wine, she's good.
You had me at wine. You had me at wine. That was it. Here's the thing. I do while we connect with mom, I do want to let you guys know I do have a website. You know, it's called Healing Hearts, Healing Souls. As you guys could see, nothing here was done with any bad intentions. It was all good intentions with God's guidance, you know, around us, and only good, loving spirits around us, right? Letting us know that everyone's okay. And it really is all about healing your heart and healing the soul that's crossed over. But I do want to let you know I do have a website. I also do group readings. I am at La Chaine every 2 months, and La Chaine is a French restaurant up in Santa Clarita. If you guys go onto the website, you'll be able to see that. I love to do group events, whether it's in a setting like this or a private setting at home. I'm constantly being asked to, you know, invited to go into people's homes and do group readings, which I think are a lot of fun and a lot of healing. Again, it's all about healing, right? Remo and I, and we can talk about this later, but we are thinking about starting our own podcast to bring more light and more information to people straight from home. So you don't even have to go anywhere to do that. But is there anything else I missed?
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
I know you said you're mentioning starting your own podcast. Maybe we could set something up where maybe once a quarter we could have you back.
I would love that if you want to have me here.
We would have another group session, whether it's with the same people or now that some of the viewers who are watching who potentially got cold feet, now that they saw what this is, they may be interested in, all right, it wasn't as bad as I thought. Maybe I'll decide to join the next time. So maybe something in the springtime.
Absolutely. I'm all for it.
Okay.
And here's the other thing. Anyone that's under the age of 18, I do not charge for. I never charged for a long time, but people took advantage of my time. But anyone that's under 18, I constantly have people that, because remember, we can lose a parent, we lose a grandparent, and we're at a young age and we don't know where do they go. I want to talk to them too, not only you, right? And the kids under 10 years old are your best mediums. And we sometimes feel like, oh, our son or daughter are just mentioning that they're seeing grandpa because they just miss them. But it's not the case. When a child is under the age of 10, there's nothing that separates what they're hearing and what they're seeing, right? Once they start doing YouTubes and start, and have people saying, oh, you're crazy, you don't know what you're talking about, then that child starts losing that connection with heaven. But the younger the child is, the more connected they are to heaven and to our loved ones that have crossed over.
It's funny you say that, because in the Armenian culture, there's a saying, when a baby's sleeping and they begin to smile, they say that the child's playing with angels.
Yes.
So it's funny that you say that I connected it to our culture. And, I don't know if you've heard that saying as well.
Yeah, I have.
You guys have heard it as well, right? Yeah.
Should we
yes.
connect with Natasha?
Yes. Can we please? Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna. So she's on speaker since we hadn't connected to Bluetooth and all that. So
I can connect it to it's connected to Bluetooth. It's just she wouldn't hear it because no headphones.
how about is this?
That'll work. Hi, Natasha.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. Been watching you guys the whole evening.
We heard you had babysitter issues.
Yes, unfortunately, I couldn't make it. I have 3 kids at home.
Lydia could have watched your kids if we knew, right, Lydia?
So the daughter, so I'm sure she can hear me. First of all, I'm so sorry for your loss. Natasha, is that correct? That's okay. I'm so sorry for your loss, Natasha. Your daughter's been running around. Here's the thing is, I also feel that she's coming through with someone else that's a boy. Okay. So whether they're coming in together and the boy was the first one that comes in to like make sure that everything is cool, or, like, could she see me? If she couldn't see me, then she's going to be able to see you. I need to talk about sunflowers. So I feel like your daughter is very much connected with sunflowers. I feel like you have a lot of little birds that come and visit you
all the time.
Yeah. So she says that she loves the feeder. So whether it's the hummingbird feeder, and then do you have chimes in the backyard?
My mother's house, not at my place.
She loves the chimes, by the way. Okay. What was with her lungs? Why do I feel like she had a hard time with her lungs?
Not sure.
Yeah. Did she have some heart issues? Like, why do I feel like it was a big blow? I feel like she was here and then crossed over.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I feel like she's here and then she crosses over. I don't feel like there was a long illness. At least that's not what she's showing me.
It was really fast.
Yeah.
But it had nothing to do with her lungs.
No, but because she shows me heavy, like I was breathing, like I was having a hard time breathing, or I was having a hard time with what was happening to me. And then I feel a pain in my stomach.
She was nauseous. But
she was nauseous.
I don't think that was the issue.
Okay. Even if that wasn't the particular issue, this is what she's telling me that was bothering her the most.
Okay.
I also feel like you still have my blanket, or you still have my things, and I feel like my room is still the same.
Pretty much.
Yes. I love when you come visit, and I love when you come and sit in my room. It's okay to allow others to come into the room to play. And there's a lot of pink in the room, or she's showing me pink, kind of like Cinderella or a princess.
We set up my other daughter's bed there for her as a princess.
Yes. She loves to share that room. She says that she will come back as your grandbaby. I'm sorry, I was only here for a short time.
I had a son, so I'm wondering, that's what I was wondering. I had a son after her. If it has anything to do with that little boy.
I'm sorry, she lost it. I didn't hear that.
She had a son after her.
Uh-huh.
So she's saying, I wonder if that son has anything to do with
her.
The boy running around.
What's interesting, because the energy or the spirit that I'm seeing, the little boy, I'm wondering if she did come back as a little boy, right? So the fact that I could still connect with her and the fact that you have a little boy, I wouldn't be surprised that a bit of her is coming back to fill the void of her loss as the little boy. Does that make sense? So this way he's stronger and he lives longer. However, her true self will come back as your grandbaby, and you're going to be able to connect with her through her eyes and her heart. I love summertime also. So something with summertime. Is this when she crossed over was in the summer?
No, it was winter time.
It was wintertime. What happened in the summer that for her was the best time for her? This was before she got sick.
She loves to swim.
She loves to swim. She loves the summertime. Keep swimming. Keep having her memory there when you go swimming, when you have her, because she loves the summertime. We talked about a pool earlier too, right? I don't know why that's coming up right now. Okay.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Oh, I think a pool was coming up earlier today, or earlier, like it's been hours since we've been here. And I just feel like this is her way of saying, I love to spend time in the water or in the pool. She loves the summer.
Yes.
Do you notice in the summer, and I feel like she's only been gone for 3 years, I want to say?
Exactly 3 years.
Yeah. She loves dragonflies, by the way.
I've seen many.
Yeah. She loves dragonflies. Butterflies are like out of this world, right? But dragonflies are very special. And she just says, I love coming through as a big, beautiful red dragonfly.
I see a lot of butterflies and dragonflies. I
Yes.
have butterfly always sitting on my car windshield.
Absolutely. Both butterflies and dragonflies. She says, I come and I whisper pretty things in your ear at night. And I also give dad kisses. So for you, it may feel like there's a hair on your face or like there was a bug that landed on your hand and you're like, what was that? And there's nothing there. That this is the way our loved ones touch us and kiss us and let us know that they're around. Why would she tell me dad is here?
Not to get emotional.
Is dad part of you guys? Or where's it?
No.
Okay.
Is dad there? Say that one more time.
He's not next to me at the moment.
Okay. Just tell dad that she loves him very much.
She's a daddy's girl.
Yes, she is. It's funny because for me, I felt like dad should be here. And that's exactly how I was feeling it. Like dad should be here. But meaning maybe he should be next to you.
I think it would help him very much. But yes.
She said it would help him very much.
Oh, okay. I hope he can maybe hear this. I hope he can see this. She says she will always be there. And she puts her hand on his heart like every night before he goes to sleep, just to calm his heart down.
Exactly when he looks at her pictures or at night.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. She says, I love you and I can't wait for you to be my grandmother.
Looking forward to it.
She says, you did nothing wrong, Mom. Okay.
I tried my best.
You gave her everything you could. You gave her all the love that she needed in this short life. And she says, thank you for allowing me to come in for a short time. I would choose you again over and over again.
Thank you so much for letting me know this.
You're welcome. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Good night.
Thank you for able to put me on the phone as well. I appreciate it.
Anytime.
Thank you for joining us, Natasha.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye.
Those are the hardest readings ever. To lose a child, there's nothing that, can compare. I mean, obviously, every loss is difficult, but when I hear a mother crying for their child, like obviously I'm a mother. I guess there's no worse pain than that, right? You bring a child into this life and you give them all you can and you give them all the love, and then they're taken right away. And we unfortunately sign up for these lessons where, we said, okay, I'm okay with allowing this beautiful soul and spirit to come to me and allowing me to be her mother for this amount of years, and then be willing, because of God's grace, to be able to release her back. And that's something you take with you for a long time. And I think that when you hear stories like this, we learn to appreciate our children more. We learn to complain a little less about their messes or their being loud, but really look at them and say, thank you for choosing me to be your parent. Thank you for forgiving me for my mistakes, because as parents, we're always making mistakes. We're not perfect. No one's perfect. But when you know that life can be taken at any time, we kind of tend to cherish life a little more and appreciate what we do have a little more, and be grateful for what we do have and when we have it.
It's crazy when you become a parent. There's something inside your brain, your psyche, your emotions that completely changes. The movies you used to watch and kind of brush off hit you a little bit differently. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite movies was John Q, or is John Q, with Denzel Washington. And if you guys haven't seen it, it's about a son or a little boy who has a heart condition, ends up in the hospital. And it's a true story, by the way. And the father locks down the hospital for his son in order for him to get a heart transplant, which obviously it's a great movie. I would suggest you guys watch it, but there's a saying in that movie where when I watched it prior to having kids, it didn't affect me. After watching it, when I had kids, dude, I mean, there's a lot of wet eyes in the room, but that's how I felt, where he says, I will not bury my son will bury me. Mm-hmm. And I think with every single parent out there who truly loves their child, they can relate to that, because that's the last thing you ever want to do is lose a child. And my condolences go out to Natasha and her family. I mean, that I can't even imagine what they went through. I have a 7-year-old now, and she's a little girl, and to hear the stories about that, and it's just, oh man,
it is.
It's a little. It's tough.
When I was pregnant with my daughter, obviously I was 15, and there was a lady that we used to share a home, and she was pregnant around the same. We were both 7 months pregnant at the time, and I remember getting the phone call that the baby had died. And here I am walking in with my baby still pregnant, right? And knowing that I was going to hold her baby that had just crossed over. And we cried, and I dressed the baby and I cried, and I felt like it was my baby that was dying also, because I remember holding that baby onto my stomach so that at least it could share my daughter's heartbeat. And I don't share that story often, but I always, to this day, when I celebrate my daughter's birthday, I always celebrate this little boy's birthday, because I know that wherever his mom is at, that she will always, I'll never forget her cry and the screams. And I didn't know what else to do but to hold her baby and love him like if he was mine. And, a few years back, my son was in the Marines. He served in Afghanistan. And there was one morning where I woke up and I just started crying. And I knew my son had died. I just felt in my heart that my son had died. I didn't know why. I didn't know when. I didn't know what. I just knew that I hadn't talked to him in a few days. And about a week later, I got a call saying that he had gone through like hypothermia. And then the other was that he stepped on is it called the IED? Mm-hmm. And that the first thing he said was, oh shit. And then he told his friends to move away. And then he had my brother's ashes with him. Actually, he took him to Afghanistan, and I really feel like my brother saved him because he walked off this IED and it didn't go off. But as a mother, I felt him crossing over. And I always say, and I know he's going to watch this, but I always say that when my son came back, my son is changed person. You know, whether he holds his pain a little closer, there's nothing as a parent that you could do to protect them when you kind of let them do their thing, right? So, you know, even though he's still here, I know part of him is not him anymore. Does that make sense?
The PTSD.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It'll take some time for him to heal. We've had so many war veterans on our show from Navy, Army, Marines, and a lot of them had things to cope with, and alcohol and drugs were the coping mechanism for some of them. But, you know, thank God that they're all sober and they all were able to sit down with us and tell us their story.
Yeah. I mean, he's actually a deputy now. He has two beautiful children. And I love him and his girlfriend, and I love my whole little family. But, you know, there was a time where, I came home one day and he's like, Mom, do you want to see this? And it's him being shot at. I'm thinking like, I do not need to see this. Right. And of course you put mom face on, but then you go behind doors and you're just crying like a baby. Like, I wish I was there, and I wish I was the one protecting you at that time. So hold your loved ones close or closer, and always be grateful for waking up next to them and being able to say hello and good morning or good night, right? Don't take life for granted at any time. So thank you guys so much.
Well said. Thank you so much.
How do you feel about this? I mean, how do you guys feel? Because you guys were a little nervous about me coming on, so...
Well, we're easily intimidated. That's why.
Yeah. I'm not that scary.
Well, no, it's I think for most people, it's the unknown, right? Because you don't know what you're going to hear, what you're going to discover, and how that's going to have an impact on your life moving forward. So I think that's why a lot of people are, because I even had several text messages saying, oh, it wasn't as scary as I thought, and they're watching. And they're like, well, next time I'll show up. But it's the unknown. I think that they don't know what they're going to hear, and is it going to have a positive, negative impact on their lives? And but I think after seeing you now, second time around, you're going to have a full house here.
Oh, thank you. I was just saying that earlier. I'm like, I wish the house was full. This is my goal. There's so many shows out there. There's so many different people that portray or that do this, and everyone has their own reason for doing it, right? Again, for me, it's always to heal the heart here and the soul in heaven. Reunite you guys, reunite you with God so that you're not upset with them, with him, or with whatever religion you are. I did a reading for a kid one time. He came in and he was completely lost. He was a young kid. And he goes, I want a reading. And it was all word of mouth. Now, I did not go public until 2019. Now, I've been doing readings for many, many years. I was always afraid of what people were going to think of me. And this kid comes in and I do a reading for him, and I connected him with his loved ones. And I said, you really need to connect with God. And he says, I don't believe in God. And I felt so sorry for him. And I said, well, who is God for you? Who do you recognize, or what do you recognize as your God? And he says, the ocean. And I said, then the ocean it is, because God is creator of all things. So if you find God and peace in the ocean, then by all means visit it every day. There's nothing wrong with that, right? So I would love to come back. I'm glad that you guys, not that you enjoyed it, but you found peace in this, and continue talking to your loved ones. They hear you, they see you, they're around you. And that doesn't mean that they're earthbound. That means that they have the free will to come and go. They still go up to heaven. They still learn lessons in heaven, right? And then they just come back and they kind of visit and pop in and see what's going on, and they laugh with you and they cry with you, they console you, and then they go back.
There you go.
I think most people were concerned about, well, when exactly do they pop in, and what am I doing when they're popping in?
So private time. Thank you for bringing that up. Private time is never a problem. They know when to pop in and when they don't. So if you're in the bathroom or you're having private time or whatever, for luck.
Don't worry, they're not scrolling on Instagram while you're on the toilet with her.
Yeah, they're not watching everything you're doing. They're not here to scold you guys. They may say, hey, maybe don't smoke that stuff. It's not good for whatever the case is. But for me, even with what I do, our bedroom is our safe place. This is our private place. I said boundaries. No one is allowed except God and my angels are allowed to come into my room, right? Even my brother, my dad, you guys can wait until I go downstairs and you guys can talk to me there. They do come through dreams. I do talk to them in my dreams. But other than that, I don't want to wake up and see your spirit right in front of me. It's going to scare me, even if I'm used to doing this, right? So we just say, you guys are more than welcome to come. And you're more than welcome to sit in the sofa or visit me when I'm cooking. But my room, I like to keep my room private and my private time private. And they know that. That's, yes.
Sometimes you have dreams, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a sign from them? Or is it just something from what I'm remembering in my memory? Is it sometimes I feel like for me, it is a sign from them, but I also want to be okay, what if it's just me thinking of them and yes, of course, but.
So when you wake up and your dream it was so vivid.
Yes.
Right? That is a visit from your loved ones. Okay. So it's important that you jot them down. Maybe have a little journal next to your bed and jot it down so that you don't forget it. And then you could thank them. Thank you for coming into my dream. Right. I had a client who lost her son a couple years ago to overdose. And every time I would see her, she would be like, I just want him to come in my dream. Why can't I see him in my dream? And I said, because sometimes our pain is so strong and it's so hard that our pain will not allow us to see anything past the pain. Does that make sense? And so then I told her that her son was going to come back as her grandbaby. A few months passed by, whatever the case is. And just like I think I talked to someone about the baby being placed on the person. I said, I don't remember you losing someone else other than your baby. I said, but maybe Jesse's coming back. And sure enough, she says, my daughter's pregnant. And I knew it. It was a boy. So 2 days before the baby shower, Jesse came into her dreams and he came and he was so bright and happy. And he even took her by the hand and showed her different things. And she says it was the best moment, the best dream ever. And so it depends on where you're at in your grief that your loved ones will eventually come in and talk to you.
Well, Yesenia, we want to thank you again. We really do appreciate taking time out of your Monday to be with us.
I loved being here. Thank you for having me. And did I miss anything? We have my website, Healing Hearts, Healing Souls.
We'll place everything on the YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast body so people can actually click it and it'll direct them exactly to where it needs to go. Your website, your Instagram, whatever links you have. Thank you guys as well.
Thank you
for
guys.
taking time to join us as well. Everybody, today's episode will be up and running on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all major platforms tomorrow. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you guys all next Monday.
Cheers. Bye.
Today's show is sponsored by the Law Offices of Armand Gregorian. If you're injured in a car accident and need proper guidance and representation, reach out to the Law Offices of Armand Gregorian, 1-818-404-0333. Are insurance companies giving you the runaround? Don't settle for less. Public Assist fights for you, not the insurance companies. To get the maximum payout on your claim, whether it's for fire, water, or property damage, call Public Assist today and tell them the Wisenuts sent you. Get what's rightfully yours. 818-242-0998. 818-242-0998 because you deserve every single dollar. Also, today's show is brought to you by the Glen Arden Club. If you're interested in networking, cigars, scotch, and a great environment, reach out to us. We'll connect you to the boys at the Glen Arden, and you'll become a member here. Smoke with the Wisenuts. Smoke with a great network.